Hello, House of Massive Users here for today's review. Oppenheimer, yeah, Christopher Nolan's latest film about the creator of the atomic bomb. Well, who led the charge to, the development of the little boy and fat man bombs that were used in at the end of World War II by America and well, their allies. So this is a film when I first heard about it, I was very interested in watching. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan. I mean, some of these films aren't as great as others, but generally they're very well made. And Oppenheimer seemed like this would be sort of on the scale, say something like Inception or the Dark Knight trilogy, or some of the other ones he's made. I mean, not to say his other films have been great. I mean, I liked Tenet when that came out in 2020, and clearly was the best film that year. But yeah, I mean, but that to be fair, 2020 didn't have anything due to the pandemic. But yeah, Oppenheimer. Let's discuss. So this is basically like, right, as I said, you know the story. I think this might be the first time he's done a movie based on a real person, but it does definitely have the Nolan, you know, the standard things you expect in a Christopher Nolan film. The deep conversations, the synch, the sound direction, the uh, the big scale effects or lack of, but when they are there, handled pretty well. The silence cues, you get a lot of it. And of course the top-notch acting. I think Cillian Murphy, this is probably his best performance I've ever. I think he definitely is great as Doctor Oppenheimer. Um, Emily Blunt is not bad too as his wife. Matt Damon, jeez, first air now Oppenheimer, jeez, he's had a good year this year, Matt Damon. Really well done. And Robert Downey Jr. Actually, I want to address RD in particular because when I first saw him, obviously with the makeup and that, well, it's easy to identify his face. Tell me I'm not the only one who thought he looked like Ben Kingsley in Schindler's List. Just just put side by side the two both of them, RDJ in Oppenheimer and Ben Kingsley in Schindler's List, and you can see a similarity with how the characters look. Actually, both are set during World War II, so yeah, more parallels. I also want to give special mention to one person in particular, and but we'll get to that when we get to him. The sound direction, of course, is handled well. Tension, there's some really good tension scenes because it does deal with the later, investigation into Oppenheimer's connection with the communists and everything. Even though I didn't know much about that. And it's interesting how they handle scenes with shot in black and white. I really like that. The bomb test scene. Oh my gosh, when they actually do that test to see if an atomic bomb could work. My gosh, the tension, the the shots, the music, and just when the bomb blows off. Oh my gosh, that's one of the best scenes I've seen. That was such a great scene. Oh my gosh, and geez, you could I can't describe it. You just gotta see that when they do that test to see if an atomic weapon could work. My gosh. Jeez, I love that. I think I also like music. I mean, I think it's done pretty well. Not onto the scale, say something like Inception or the Dark Knight trilogy, but pretty good. And I like it's also you have to, you know, it's up to your opinion what you think of J. Robert Oppenheimer. You're given all the facts, and I like that you get to, decide whether you think this guy was actually where his allegiances lied and whether he was genuinely a good person. I mean, yeah, I mean, not just the fact he did create something pretty terrible, but even, where he can, what he's like, his personality, and what side he truly was on, and what he felt after World War II, and that, whether you feel you're on, if whether you do side of him or not. It's handled pretty well. Yeah, and I like films that do that, make you question. Like Wind Rises, for example. Again, movie set during the period of World War II about a man who created Jiro Horikoshi, in this case, who created the Japanese World War II fighting planes. It's up to you to make an opinion whether you, with how you feel about that person, whether you can agree with him on what he did. However, it's a bit more. Well, I think it's more handled better here than that, honestly, because generally I was able to sympathize more with in the Wind Rises with its lead. Well, this I had to question a bit more and whether I agree with everything. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I think yeah, I think it's handled better here. But I think above all, the best performance in this film is Tony Conti as Albert Einstein. Oh my gosh, I you don't see Einstein much in this because I mean, yes, he did alert the USA that Germany was making nuclear weapons and had a role in the Manhattan Project, but this is set after it, so he's not really so much in it. But when he is in it, oh my gosh, I think he was my best performer in it. I really enjoyed him as Einstein. He was really good. If I have two nitpicks, is one is Florence Pugh. I think this is probably her weakest performance so far that I've seen of her career. Which is strange because which is pretty strange. I mean, if she could be the best thing in something like Don't Worry Darling, which I still don't like by far, was which I still give praise to her for her performance. I mean, she doesn't have much screen time in this. I mean, so it's hard for me to really say, oh, she's the weakest, just because I'm just saying, for what little she is in it, I would say she's the weakest, but that's not to say she's bad. She's actually pretty good, really good for what little is, but she is the weakest performer here, in my view. And the opening, it does take a while to slowly get into it. Yeah, I mean, you can understand everything that's going on, but at least till Oppenheimer's beginning his teachings in physics, that's where the film really starts to click, and you sit back and enjoy it the whole way through. So yeah, Oppenheimer is a fantastic film, without a doubt, and deserves to be among Christopher Nolan's high achievements in cinema. It's a fantastic movie. 9.5 out of 10 half stars, easy. Can't see anything topping this. I mean, even though I liked Air, I mean, because that was also a good movie. Yeah, I this was yeah, by far Oppenheimer's fantastic by far. Um, but of course, we all know what came out the exact same day as Oppenheimer, and the term that has just come up with. Now people can't have to see both films. Yeah, and we'll get to that. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll discuss that later. But yeah, Oppenheimer's fantastic. Definitely worth your watch. Yeah, fantastic. Great movie. Thumbs up. Double thumbs up. So what's next? Well, just keeping track. I won't be too long for my next video. Again, well, to be fair, might be a shortest turnaround between Old Dogs to Oppenheimer, but it'll still be done pretty quickly. I hope. Yeah, it just depends on what I end up doing with that video, or what comes out, what I end up doing first, actually. But in the meantime, Massive Users out, and I shall see you for my next video. Ciao!